Hi, this is Susanna from Hold It Right There Sewing Patterns. Welcome back to my Clarendon Crossbody Wallet sewing tutorial. To make the Clarendon Crossbody Wallet, you will need to purchase the sewing pattern available on my website at the link below. In my previous video, we prepared all of the fabric and interfacing pieces, and we're ready to begin sewing. This video will walk you through all of the steps to make the zippered flap. Locate the two flap exterior top and flap exterior bottom pieces, B1 and B2. I recommend referring to your B1, B2 pattern piece for this step. Let's begin with the fabric 1 piece. This is going to show on the exterior of your flap. I'm going to turn this piece wrong side up for this step so the interfacing is showing. Use a washable pen to mark a horizontal line 4 inches below the top straight edge. This line bisects the flap for the zipper pocket. Now fold the flap in half, matching the curved edges. Finger press that center crease right over the line that you just drew. Mark a 1/4 inch vertical line centered over that crease and intersecting the horizontal line. This small mark will be very important for placing the zipper correctly later. Cut along the horizontal line, separating the piece into 2 segments. If you like, snip the tiny center markings for your zippers. Repeat this marking and cutting with your remaining B1, B2 piece cut from fabric 3. Locate your C1, C2 pieces. Fold one C1, C2 piece wrong sides together, matching curved edges, and crease the center. This will determine the placement for the magnetic snap. Refer to your pattern piece for this step. With your pen, mark the insertion point for the magnetic snap 1.5 inches below the top center, right on the crease. This insertion point is also indicated on your pattern piece, so you can refer to that as well. Next, on both C1, C2 pieces, mark a horizontal line 6 inches above the bottom straight edge. Once again, mark a 1/4 inch vertical line centered and intersecting the horizontal line, and you're going to finger press the pieces, folding them, matching the curved edges just as you did for the B1, B2 piece. On the wrong side of my C1, C2 piece with the magnetic snap marking, I like to put small X's on the top and the bottom just to distinguish it from my other C1, C2 piece. And this especially is helpful if I am fussy cutting or want to line up a design. Cut along the horizontal line, separating the piece into 2 segments. If you like, make tiny snips at your center zipper markings to help with placement later. These snips are very tiny, about 1/8 of an inch in length. You're going to repeat this with your second C1, C2 piece, marking and cutting just as you did this one. Set aside these pieces for now. For instructions on how to add zipper tabs to your Clarendon, please see my video linked below. The remainder of this video will follow the instructions for the zipper included in your pattern. The pattern instructions complete the Clarendon without zipper tabs. Locate your 2 zippers. Beginning with 1 zipper, fold the zipper in half, matching short side to determine its center. Use a washable fabric pen to mark the zipper center above and below the zipper teeth on the right side of the zipper. I like to cut tiny 1/8 inch snips at the mark drawn on the zipper tape. You're going to repeat this, marking your second zipper. Locate your prepared B1, B2 pieces and one of your marked zippers. I like to use double-sided tape for this step. Be sure the zipper pull is on the left and the zipper is facing right side up. Affix double-sided tape along the zipper tape above the teeth, centered over the mark made in the previous step. Keep the tape a 1/4 inch above the zipper teeth so it doesn't get caught in the stitching or show in your finished bag. I find it really helpful to do this step on my cutting mat, to use the markings on my cutting mat to help me keep everything centered. Center the bottom edge of your fabric 1 B1 piece with the top edge of the zipper teeth. Flip the zipper wrong side up. Center the bottom edge of the fabric 3 piece for B1 with the top edge of the zipper tape. Use the double-sided tape to affix as you did previously. The fabrics are now right sides together with the zipper sandwiched between them. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then press the fabrics away from the zipper teeth wrong sides together. We will now add the B2 portion of the flap. Use the center markings and double-sided tape to center the top edge of the fabric 1 B2 piece with the bottom edge of the zipper tape. The most critical part of this step is aligning the center markings. To conserve tape, just place a small amount directly over the center markings. If you don't have double-sided tape, it's just as fine to baste a few stitches right at that center marking to tack the zipper and the fabric pieces together. Flip the zipper wrong side up. I am again putting a small amount of double-sided tape on the zipper tape directly above the marking. Center the top edge of the fabric 3 B2 piece with the bottom edge of the zipper tape. The fabrics are now right sides together with the zipper sandwiched between them. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, then press the fabric away from the zipper teeth. Top stitch 1/8 inch from the seam below the zipper teeth only. Locate D1, the flap exterior lining. Make sure the zipper pull is in the middle. Place the flap panel so that the zipper is wrong side up. Place the D1 piece on top, right sides together, matching the curved edges. Baste around the edge of D1 with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We will now close the top of the pocket with top stitching. Turn the flap right side up so that your exterior fabric is showing. Top stitch above the zipper teeth 1/8 inch from the seam. Locate the 2 flap interior C1 and C2 pieces, as well as your remaining zipper. Be sure the zipper pull is on the left and the zipper is right side up. Just as we did before, affix double-sided tape at the top of the zipper. Use the C1 piece with the magnetic snap marking for this step. Center the bottom edge of that C1 piece with the top edge of the zipper tape. Flip the zipper wrong side up. Affix double-sided tape as you've done previously. Center the bottom edge of the remaining C1 piece with the top edge of the zipper tape. The fabrics are right side together with a zipper sandwiched between them. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, then press the fabrics away from the zipper teeth. We're going to add the last segment to the flap, the C2 piece. This is the C2 piece that you might have marked with an X on the back of it. This will be showing when you open the flap of your bag. Be sure your zipper is right side up and the zipper pull is to the left. Apply double-sided tape as you have in the past right over the zipper tape, centered over the marking. Center the top edge of the C2 piece with the bottom edge of the zipper tape. Be sure your center markings are all lined up. Flip the zipper wrong side up, then apply double-sided tape if you wish, centered over the marking on the bottom edge of the zipper tape. Center the top edge of the C2 piece with the bottom edge of the zipper tape. The fabrics are now right sides together and the zipper is sandwiched between them. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, then press the fabrics away from the zipper teeth. Place the panel so the zipper is right side up and the magnetic snap marking is also facing up. The zipper pull will be on the left. Top stitch below the zipper teeth only 1/8 inch from the seam. Do not top stitch the upper seam above the zipper teeth yet. If you are including the optional ID pocket on the inside of your flap, follow the instructions now on page 14 of your sewing pattern before moving on to the next step. Locate the flap interior lining D2. Be sure to move the zipper to the middle for this step. Place the flap panel with the zipper wrong side up. Place the D2 piece on top, right sides together. Match the straight edges. Baste around the edge of D2 using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Place the flap panel with the zipper right side up and the zipper pull on the left. Top stitch above the zipper teeth 1/8 inch from the seam. Before we move on to the next step, I want to give you a tip to reduce bulk in your flap. You may want to trim back the C1 piece without the magnetic snap marking. So you'll just want to trim off that C1 piece even with the top edge of the D2 piece. On my exterior flap panel, I am also trimming back the B1 piece, and this is the one from Fabric 3. And I'm trimming it even with the D1 lining. Be sure the exterior fabric 1 side is out of the way while you're trimming. Because the flap is made of so many layers, it helps just to trim back these extra pieces, and it's especially helpful if you are using a domestic sewing machine or if you're sewing with canvas. It just minimizes bulk. We will now install the magnetic snap half on the interior facing panel. Locate the raised magnetic snap half, washer, ultra firm stabilizer squares, washable fabric pen, and seam ripper. For these next steps, be sure to keep this panel with the zipper facing right side up. Center a magnetic snap washer over the insertion point you drew earlier above the zipper. Using your fabric pen, trace the left and right prong placement lines of your washer. If you haven't already trimmed it away as I did, be sure to move the unmarked flap interior top C1 layer out of the way. You don't want to accidentally cut through it. I am using my seam ripper to carefully cut through the left and right prong placement lines. And again, I'm only cutting through this top layer. To prevent these edges from unraveling, I'm applying a few drops of liquid fabric sealant, such as Dritz Fray Check. Allow the Fray Check to dry before moving on. Place a magnetic snap washer over one of the ultra firm stabilizer squares. Again, trace the left and right prong placement lines of the washer with your marker. Then use your seam ripper to carefully cut through the left and right prong placement lines. Repeat with your second ultra firm stabilizer square. Working from the right side of the panel, push the pronged feet of the raised magnet half through the incisions you made. Flip the panel wrong side up. Insert the prongs through one square of ultra firm stabilizer. Next, insert the prongs through the holes in the washer. Fold the prongs outward to secure. I find it helpful to use the edge of my scissors to push the prong feet outward. Locate your strap tab M pieces and place wrong side up. Fold in the long sides and press the raw edges over the interfacing toward the center. Fold long side to long side, matching folded edges, and press as needed. Top stitch both long sides of the strap tabs using an 1/8 inch seam allowance. Locate the flap exterior panel and your 1/2 inch D-rings. Insert each strap tab through one D-ring. Slide the D-ring to the center of the strap tab and match up the strap tab's raw edges. Pin or clip the strap tabs 1 3/4 inches below the top straight raw edge. The D-rings are facing toward the center of the flap. Sew the strap tabs to the exterior flap panel using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and you'll repeat this with the second strap tab on the opposite side of your exterior flap panel. We're ready to finish the flap by now joining the exterior and interior flap panels together. Keep the zippers halfway open on both flap panels, right sides together. Place the flap panels on top of each other. Match up the curved edges and the straight edges. Pin or clip the flap panels together. Sew using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Do not sew along the straight edge. Trim seam allowances close to the stitching. Trim the excess zipper tape even with the raw edges. I am using old scissors to cut through my metal zipper teeth so I don't damage my good fabric scissors. Reach into the opening and turn the flap right side out. Use your fingers to push out the seams as you're turning the flap. Lightly press the flap edges. Baste the top raw edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. The flap for your Clarendon Crossbody Wallet is now finished. Join me in my next tutorial as we make the card pocket panel together. Thanks for watching. Happy sewing!